Hi, welcome to Sailing Slow Motion. I wanted to show you where I'm at with the Windrider right now. So I'm getting it set up for the Everglades Challenge. If you don't know, it's a race from Port DeSoto down to Key Largo. It's about 300 miles. This boat, when I bought it, was completely stock, had a lot of old parts on it, and needed everything to be upgraded, essentially. I replaced the standing rigging. I have a new jib sail, which was a little short. I had to use some Dyneema cord up on top and add about 3 inches, and then another bracket down on the bottom to get it to line up and mount with the correct kick on the mast. I installed the lights on the front and the back. And I installed the solar panel. This camera's not working on the other side. I installed these. So a lot of people on YouTube, especially Ziggy is probably the best for anything Windrider, and he mounted these in a similar fashion. I didn't use any brackets. I just ran the U-bolts to the very front onto the lip here, the eye bolt like everybody else did there, and then the same on the back. And on the back, I'm not an engineer, but I'm assuming that this is going to work. I've stood on it. I haven't jumped on it, but I've been pretty aggressive with it. But on the underneath side, on all these, the U-bolt comes just to the very end there. But I couldn't imagine it being able to bend that metal right there. For the motor bracket, I only have one clamp on there now holding it. I will very soon have another clamp here and another clamp here. I did have to make a little cutaway channel for the U-bolt. My console is probably the best thing that I've done so far. It looks tall, and it is, but I'm pretty tall myself, and I can see over it. When I sit in it, the front bar for the AMAs, I guess it's called the ACA or something, the front of this is right in line with that bar, so I'm not losing any visibility forward. I did move this part to the center of the boom, and it should be okay right here. I haven't sailed with it yet. I'm going to sail with it tomorrow, but I didn't want it in the back anymore just because of what I've done back here. So I installed the light, and then like everybody else, I did a tiller bar, which is the piece of PVC melted down and made the bracket there. And then I haven't cut mine short yet. I still have mine long, and as of right now, I'm okay with that. So for the Everglades Challenge, you have to have 2 reefs in your main. This main sail comes from Windrider with just 1 reef point. So I bought a new sail because this one's pretty old, and we'll be taking the new sail down to Tampa tomorrow to get the reef point installed. So as of right now, this boat seems to be pretty well set up. Oh, one more thing. So a lot of people have rudder problems with these where they get loose. I don't know if there's enough light here. I think there is. So I made these plates. The inside of the rudder, the post comes down, and then there's a triangle piece back here. And what happens is the foam core inside gets soft, and then when you do your rudder inputs, it just wiggles its way free. So you'll be able to do a whole lot of rudder input, and nothing actually happens to your rudder. So what I did was ran this plate through on a plate on both sides, and now with any input, I mean, it is direct to the rudder. So it's much better setup. It'll steer a lot more responsively. On the inside, I also installed this switch panel right here, and then a battery gauge so I can see what's happening, and the charger. This is the charger right here running down. Of course, there's no solar happening right now. And then this is just a car GPS. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this on the race, but this is a phone mount, so my phone will probably go there. And then everything else. This is a wind speed indicator. This is a lightning indicator. Radio. I would like to put like a mesh catch right here, or even a drawer or something, just to put extra stuff in there, because I got so much things that I want to throw in here. And then a little cup holder right there. Make sure I'm drinking enough water. I'm not going to bring that. And I will be changing out the seat. And this has the original seats, which I don't like. I mean, they're okay in comfort, but I can do a lot better, I'm sure. So that's the Windrider. as of right now. And I'll be taking this in the water tomorrow, and I will show you that. One more thing before we're gone for the day. So on the Everglades Challenge, I will not be able to use this motor mount. In fact, I'll remove this before the race starts. I just want it on here tomorrow because I got a long trip that I got to do through the channels, and just to get myself over to the marina that I'm going to store it at for the month, I want the motor. But this is coming off. When this is off, I will have to use paddles to get out of small channels in anything without wind or slow navigation. So the only way to paddle this comfortably, you could paddle it sitting in the seat, but it's awkward because it's set so high on your chest. And in fact, let me hop in and I'll show you. Okay, so I'm fairly tall, but you can see that the lip is at my ribs, and to paddle, I don't want to be knocking my elbows. It's just a little uncomfortable. What is more comfortable is to sit up on this lip. So now, if I'm up here, I have a much better view angle, as long as the boom is held out of the way, which it will be with the rope. I have a much better view angle and much easier stroking ability, right? So the only issue now is the seat is not a seat, it's just a rim, and it's uncomfortable. So I took a piece of starboard and then wrote my name on there. So everyone has to have a tribe name, and my tribe name is Salty Moose. So I just set on that as a nice bench, and this is super comfortable. Now, as I'm steering, if I need steerage other than the paddle, I have the tiller, which is right here, and that is not an issue. And worst case, if I have to steer very hard, I can get my foot off to the side and steer it and then pin it, right? So this would only be in channels where I'm not in real danger of falling out, right? So I think this setup's pretty good. I think it'll work, and tomorrow's test will really let me know how this is going to cruise through the water. So I do like the ramps on either side. That, I believe, stiffens up the amas a little bit more than just that pin that runs through there. So with the pin, I didn't feel like they're there, but if one falls out, you got problems. But now I have 4 points of contact with that, locking everything into place. So I think it's even more secure. So I'm pretty happy with it. Let's see how tomorrow goes. Last thing for the night, I promise. I needed a way to protect everything on the inside. When I'm sailing, I can put this on and lash it on if there's a bad storm. I don't want my electronics to get wet. If I just need a pause for a brief moment while the storm's happening, if I just want to heave to and secure myself, I can put this on, keep my electronics dry. And it's just held on with the bungee, and it's cut for the door also, the hatch cover. So if I need to, I can close that thing up pretty nice and tight. And while it's sitting here in the lot, anyone walking past, just sees it as a box. They don't see it as what's inside. Although, thievery could happen anywhere, but just out of sight, out of mind.